Yama consists of non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, continence, and non-greed. Niyama consists of purity, contentment, accepting but not causing pain, study of spiritual books, and worship of God, self-surrender. In the presence of one firmly established in non-violence, all hostilities cease. To one established in truthfulness, actions and the results become subservient.
We will continue our journey through Sri Patanjali and the great science, the science that helps us to connect with the divine within us or without us, whatever you want to call it. But it is that great science that connects us with the universal cosmic energy or grace. And we are that. Science is proven so clearly today that we're all part of this consciousness. So why do we fight? Why do we argue? Why are there world wars? Because we just don't live the universal law of love. In Sri Patanjali, he teaches us very clearly in the first two limbs of yoga, Yama, Niyama, the very first two limbs, he said, the first thing you need to do is, how do you deal with the outside world? How do you deal with it in order to live this beautiful spiritual life? And the first thing he talks about is non-violence. Look at what people are doing. Violence. The second thing he talks about, which we covered last week, was truthfulness. What's happening all over the world? Nobody is truthful. The third thing which we're going to cover today is non-stealing. What is happening in the world? Everybody wants something that isn't theirs. And I'd love you to turn to your book on Sutra 37. He tells us, to one established in non-stealing, all wealth comes. So this whole teaching is about cause and effect. It's scientific law. You threw a boomerang out there, you're going to get it back. So when you practice non-stealing, all wealth comes. So why do people steal? Because they don't know this law. Because we are taught in society, get as much as you can, save as much as you can, get the next thing, get the next thing. So who cares? Let's just get this. You know, there's no more ethics. But if you live ethically and you don't take from anything, nature won't take from you. It's just the law of karma, action and reaction. But if you take from nature, nature will take back from you. Look at what our earth is now. Why do we have so many earthquakes recently? Fires, floods, so many floods, so many fires, in the last year. Why? Because we steal from the earth. So the earth gives us what we give. So we are part of cells of this beautiful earth, which was given to us as a Garden of Eden. But we broke all the rules. Why did we break the rules? Because it became selfish. All about me. I need, I want, my way of thinking. There are millions of ways of thinking. We need to accept that. But everybody wants to be right. I have to do it this way and I have to be right. And then, as Gandhi said, an eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. He's wise, it's true. The whole world will go blind, and this is what's happening to the world at the moment. So this is why we're not getting where we want to in our world. Humanity is really at its infancy. And we are, as people here in the Sangha, as people here in this room, we really know that we are divine. We really know that we all need to work together, and we really know what stops us from getting there. So Sri Patanjali just lists it clearly, because prior to that we're hearing so many things from the news, from our peers. You need to just think about money and collecting and this, and then it's very confusing for the human mind. It's very confusing. We just don't know where we are and what we're going to do. And so this book, or this science, really tells us, okay, now what's happening? Why is everything going wrong? There's a reason to be. So let's practice it for me and see if this works. And this is what I did with Patanjali. Let me practice for me. If I practice for me and it works for me, it's going to work for everybody else. So this is a personal practice. Nobody can practice this for you. And please understand this. If you are not happy in your life, look at what you are doing in your life. We talked about truthfulness. We asked questions last week. And at the end, we're going to ask questions again about non-stealing. Do we steal? What is the meaning of stealing? What is it really, to the depth of it? People think if you steal, you take something from somebody else, something physical, something material, but it's much more than that. It's that too. This is the war that is happening. It's material, but there's much more than that. But here, Sri Patanjali gives us these tools for that reason. So many people read Patanjali, and I know so many yoga teachers who tell me, oh, I've read Patanjali. And then I ask, what does chitta mean? Or what does ahamkara mean? What does buddhi mean? Hello? Do you know? Chitta is the second sutra. Patanjali is yogas chitta vritti nirodha, which means the restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. And the third one, oh God, you're good, you know it. And the third one is, and then after you practice yoga, what happens? Restraining the mind. Then the seer abides in its own true nature. Then you know who you are. I am spirit having a material existence. I am one with my father, my brother, my sister, Mother Mary, Jesus, Shiva. Who cares what you call it? It's just a name. It's the essence of love. It's the essence of truth. What's in a name? Of course they had Jesus in the Middle East, by the way. He probably spoke Aramaic, which he did, So they have somebody else, an Indian one, speaking Indian in India. Then you've got the Chinese got Lao Tzu or Confucius speaking in Chinese, because if Confucius went to India, nobody would understand them. So people just had different languages, came in different forms, because these great souls wanted to teach us that the way to happiness. We were born to be happy. We were born in the Garden of Eden, but we didn't know how to control all of this. And therefore the problems start. So when you practice these yourself, when you literally practice it yourself and not say, I remember listening to Swami Satchidananda. He would be talking and I'm getting all these aha moments. Aha, yes. But really, my husband should be listening to this. But really, my mother-in-law should be listening to this. You all know the feeling?
Yes.
So, until one day, I just thought, no, they're not here. I am here. I need to listen to this. I'm exactly where I should be, and they're exactly where they should be. It's my road, and I'm giving my power away. Actually, it is by saying somebody else needs to do it and not myself. I'm giving my power away. Why would I want to do that? Haven't they all taught me, all these wonderful scriptures taught me that the divine is within you? Keep saying, the Lord of love, no larger than a thumb, lives in the hearts of all, deep in the hearts of all, is the light of all lights, the kingdom of heaven is within. How many times do we need to hear it to know it? And we can't know it because we disconnect. Why do we disconnect? Ego. I want, I need to be right. We disconnect. We take, we're greedy, I want to be famous, I want to have power, I want to be the guru. That's what Gurudev said to us in Bali, if you remember, those who were with us in Bali. He said, nowadays, everybody wants to be a guru, nobody wants to be a disciple. And he said, this is the problem. Because the guru is within you, but in order to find the guru within you, you have to be a disciple. But everyone thinks they know it all. They study a little bit and they know it all. And we don't know anything. The truth is, if you really understand this truth, is the more you know, the less you know. Because that's the truth. We can never know everything. And those planets and galaxies and solar systems. We don't even know our own solar system. And what are we talking about knowing it all? Are you serious? Just because you know a few things to quote of a yoga class, you know it all? Come, let's be honest with each other. Let's be truthful. We're just ordinary beings trying to live a good life. And that's what we're doing here, by the way. And I've said this 100 times. I am not a guru. I am a student. I have learned some magic that has made my life, even when things are going wrong, into a beautiful place. And I want to share this with you. But I can't do it for you. You got to do it for yourself because you're worth it. I always use the L'Oreal ad. We're worth it. We're worth it. We need to do this for ourselves. We need to look the best we can when we can. We need to feel good as you feel. And when we feel good, we feel love. Then we want to share love, right? If you don't feel good, what have you got to give anyone? And when you can't share anything with anyone, life is very lonely and very boring. Think of your life. You don't want to share. Oh, I want to be in my room. And everybody's getting miserable nowadays because they're in their room with phones, so they don't know how to react to the world. When we share with the world, that's when we receive our joy. That's when we receive our laughter, the real laughter, not a fake laughter from a phone, And so these are the things we really need to see about our lives. Are we laughing enough? Are we joyful enough? And because what else are we here to do? I mean, if we could go and help and save people in the other part of the world, let's do it. But we can't. We probably get shot on the way. So what use are we there? No use. But we have more use here, trying to instill these great truths. And say, somebody said to me, Nelly, my life is a mess. And I said, yeah, but why? I created it. How did you create it? I started these lies. Yes, it's a mess. But no, God did it to you. You did it to yourself. So what do you need to do? And he said to me, I need to change. I need to stop lying. Great. Do you think I'm a bad person? No, I think you're wonderful to recognize it. Let's change it. So this part of your life is disastrous now. No problem. The next part can be beautiful. Just observe these rules. How do I do it? Follow these rules, study them, know them, and as your old patterns turn up, the old patterns of lying to be recognized, or lying for power, or lying because you're just lying, then when they come up, you will be able to watch them and you'll be able to change them. And then he said to me, oh, okay, I can do it. I said, everybody can do it. This is our gift. We have the choice. Here he's saying, to one established in non-stealing, all wealth comes. You don't take from people, life doesn't take from you. You have everything you want. And anyway, why would you steal? Or why would you take something from somebody else? Only because you don't feel you have enough. So this is a practice that I ask people to do all the time, including myself, when I started this path. Because I always thought I didn't have enough. I was working in a shop, we had to pay the kids' school fees, and I thought, oh my God, we're not going to afford it. And my husband was always worried about money. And I go, you know what? I'm going to stop this nonsense. When I started the site, not only next month we have to pay this bill. Anybody runs a business, you know what it's like. 3 months you do really well, and in 3 months you go really bad, and something like COVID happens, and you lose all your money, and you think, how can I do it? And then you don't sleep, and you have panic attacks. And I go, I'm not going to do this anymore when I got this. And so I said, you know what? It will be as it will be. And then I changed the conversation in my mind. If we can't pay the school fees, no big deal. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. And then I would say, I have a plate of food. Do you all have it? Can you affirm it? I have a plate of food. We can afford food. I have a wonderful bed to sleep on. How many people don't? Affirm, affirm, affirm what you do have. Okay? How many people don't? And then when I don't believe it, I used to turn on the news. Because it's always been wars throughout our lives, right? In different places in the world. Always has been. There hasn't been a year I haven't seen it. So turn on the news, no, look how they're living. Then actually when I started to do charity work and go to India and go to all these places, and go to these really poor places, Nepal and all these places, I come back each time thinking, I'll never ever worry again about these things. I have a plate of food, affirm it. I have a bed to sleep on, affirm it. I have people to love me, affirm it. And that's what affirmation is all about. But nowadays people do these affirmations. Every day I'm getting better and better, but they're not believing it. It's like rote, right? It's like, they're just saying it. It's not going to work. Nalini, I'm going to become a millionaire. I write it down every day. Okay, what have you done? Have you gone out and looked for a job? Have you started a new business? No, I'm just affirming it on my board. I go, and then 1 year later you tell me you're broke? I mean, come on, common sense. Common sense. You have to put actions in. You know, you're stealing from your environment. If you've got something and you see it's not working, change it. Something is wrong with our system. And that's why things are going wrong. So we need to be those examples. And of course, when I see young people come, it makes me so happy, because you're the future for our world, you know? You're the ones that can really make the difference. And you can be out there and be our voices, you know? And a new way of teaching, a new way of looking at things, not the way of the old religions where this is wrong and this is right. There's no God that does this to us. There are problems and there are always, what's the word? Solutions. Remember that. Always. Another affirmation. There wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't a solution. But the solution is up to us. It's not, I put a candle every day and I don't get an answer. Hello, I can put a candle every day. You have to do the solution. You have to find the solution. You have to change yourself. Whichever way it takes. And changing is not easy. It's not easy. And we're here to hold each other's hands. That's what Sangha is all about. That's what we're all about. When it's not easy, hold each other's hands. Close your eyes and say, I'm here for you. That's it. That's all you have to do. It would make people feel not alone. And that's what they need to feel. And if they don't want to listen, you know, go your own way. I'm done. Because you also don't need them to steal your energy, which is also destructive. When we allow people to steal our energy, then we're no good to the world again. So do you see, it always has to be a perfect marriage, a win-win on both sides. We give and they also need to learn. But if you give consistently and you're not getting something back in return, not that you want anything back in return, but the person is depleting your energy, then you need to walk away. You just need to know, and not because you don't want to help them, but you need the energy to uplift others. You need energy to uplift others. So, and here I'd love to read to you what our beloved Master says. If we are completely free from stealing and greed, contented with what we have, and if we keep serene minds, all wealth comes to us. If we do not run after it, before long it runs after us. If nature knows we aren't greedy, she gains confidence in us, knowing we will never hold her for ourselves. But normally, when we get something, we tend to lock it away and put the keys in a safe place. We tend to imprison our possessions, whether money, property, or people. The moment we try to imprison money, for example, it feels, what is this? I want free movement. They have made me round so I could roll, but here I am locked up. Oh, I've come to the wrong person. And this is what happens. You know, now we don't even have money that rolls anymore. It's all in. At least when it was rolled, it could roll to someone, right? Energy in things. I don't know where we're coming to, you know. And of course, because everything's in a credit card, people find it so easy to use that there's so many people with overdrafts today, and they suffer in the long run because they keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, and then I can't pay back. simple, old-fashioned way. You spend what you can. You don't steal. You can't afford it? Don't get it. Simple. Again, affirmation. What's the affirmation? See if you remember. I have a plate of food. I have a bed to sleep on. What else do you have?
A roof over my head.
So how lucky are we, right? And that's it. And that's the affirmation. Every time the mind goes to, I need this to make me happy, or I have to do this, bring it back to the simplicity. The truth is simple. The truth is simple. It really is so simple. Our minds just complicate it into so many things. And literally, this is, and then when you see how wealthy you are, as you think, that's another truth, right? So if you're thinking, I can't afford, I'm poor, and you know, my mother used to say, never say I can't afford, because when I was going through a difficult time in our business with my husband, I went to Hong Kong, go, Mom, I can't afford this. And she goes, never say you can't afford. But Mom, it's true. You come here, we're paying for your ticket, what are you worried about? You have food, you have everything. Say thank you. But Mom, you see, I couldn't understand it at that time. And then I go, Mom, you're right. I'm so rich. I'm so wealthy. What am I saying? You know, what am I even thinking? It's my greed that's making me think that way. And then as you think, it comes. Everything you need comes. It's really magical. So remember to remind yourself constantly that, but really feel it in your heart. And then I'd also like to read to you some of the things that I wrote about non-stealing when I was practicing it myself. I mean, this is a little book of sayings that I have to thank Shanti for, because when I used to give talks, there was a time she used to like what I said and she'd write it down. And then she'd give it to me, and that's how this and some of the things that I got while I was meditating, and wrote it in my books. I used to meditate and get things, and then I write it down. So I wrote this when I was just a few things. There are not a lot, but everyone is divine. There is no need to steal divinity. It cannot be stolen. It already exists in us. You know, when we see people that are really good and really quite divine in the way they act in life, we kind of like to make them, you know, we steal that joy from them by making them feel they're not good enough, or we feel we have to get it from them. We can't get it for ourselves. No. You have to get it for yourself because it's in you, you know. And I love the Bible when Moses asks God, who are you? And he answers, I am that I am. And then my master, explained it so beautifully. And he said, you know, when I told him, oh, Gurudev, how can I really feel the divines in me? And he said, Nalini, how do you just say, you know, what are you? I said, I am 5 feet 4 inches, 5 feet 4.5 inches. I'm so much in weight. He said, what do you start with? I am. So who is the I am that knows that you are 5 feet 4 inches, 4.5 inches, that belongs to the body? So who's the I am that's watching it? And then he said, when people are low and depressed and they come to you and they go, I am depressed. So I go, who is the I am that is watching the depression? Who is the I am? That's what he taught me, right? So I go, what do you mean, Nalini? Well, you're saying that I knows that you're depressed. Correct or incorrect? 100% correct. So if you know that you are depressed, could you change it? How? Okay, so you know I am depressed. So can you say, I am happy? I can, but I don't believe it. Doesn't matter. Just tell me, can you say it? Yeah, I can. So the I am that says they're depressed can also be the same I am that says I'm happy. So you can be happy. You can get yourself out of this. I never thought of it. My master taught me that. You can. You can get out of it. You mean I can get better? 100%. And that's why it upsets me nowadays. You get psychologists telling people that they can never change. Oh, once like that, you're always like that. No, this is so untrue. Remember. That's why I love teaching these tools. All you have to do is remember, okay? Remember who you are. I'm divine. You don't need to get it from anybody else. The power is in you. That gem, that diamond is inside of you, okay? And that's what you need to remind yourself. Why desire something that is not ours? Why chase it? It will cause destruction in our lives. Stick with what we have. Why do you want anything that belongs to anybody else? Why? It will create problems. It will cause destruction. Just be happy with what you have. If it was meant for us, it will stay with us. Therefore, if it goes, do not hold on to it. It was not meant for you. It was not meant for us. And that's another thing you need to these are things I told myself. Do not steal your own peace or anyone else's. And this is a big non-stealing. Do not steal your own peace or anybody else's. Because do you deserve to be peaceful?
Yes.
Say it.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and life is not going to make us peaceful all the time, is it? It's just not. It's not possible. It's not humanly possible. But don't allow anybody to steal it, and yourself especially. Because sometimes we just make mountains out of molehills. I see people do that. Something small happens, and they start saying, oh, you know this person and that. I go, so small, just drop it, not worth it. Just drop it. Don't steal this kind of small thinking. It's stealing. Wake up, alert. Time is short. Steal it not. And that's for each and every one of us. Time is short. Don't steal your own time. It's too precious. Do not steal life's energy by being negative. Because negativity is your life force. Haven't you noticed? When you're negative, you have no more energy. Yeah. Right? You're tired. You know, you go to a doctor. You'll say, doctor, I'm always tired. But that's because your energy is low. So your energy is low. We all have, that's why we have the yoga practices. Do some yoga, do some breathing, for me, deep relaxation or yoga nidra is incredible. It's one of the best tools for increasing your energy. You just lie down and listen to yoga nidra. There's so many online. I also have it on my YouTube channel, but there are many good ones online. You lie down, you listen to the deep relaxation. Honestly, you feel a new person when you wake up, when you come through it. And it's only 25 minutes long as mine, but some are shorter, they're 10 minutes. But I advise 25 minutes to make a big bit of a difference in your psyche. Because why? It shifts your consciousness. Because when you're in deep relaxation, almost you're awake, but you can watch everything that's going on, and yet you're asleep in the awake. And that's a really good time it's like charging your battery. Because sometimes you try to meditate and you can't. It's a little difficult with the mind, but that helps you to recharge even those few minutes to realize, wow, this is really good. I can be quiet. So quiet that you really don't care about anything. I love to do yoga nidra because when people come out of it, they're in another space and you can see it in their eyes. And it's a space of, I don't care. I'm just here, now, present. That's it. And such a lovely feeling, isn't it? It's just like, okay, that's good enough for now. And that allows you to have the strength to face the world again. It really is a wonderful practice. never take away someone else's dreams and hopes. You're good for nothing. You're rubbish. You can't do this. You don't know how to do that. So, dreams and hopes. And allow yourself to dream and hope. Dreams are not a bad thing. Dreams allow us to have some goals in life. We need goals to work for. Otherwise, why would we want to live in this world? We get bored and we'll say, I have nothing to live for. So the desire to fulfill a goal is not wrong at all. But know what your goal is. But don't let that desire overtake you. But aim for it. Like, for example, people say, Nalini, is it wrong to want a really nice house? No! 100%. If you don't want it, you're not going to have it, are you? Grants, desires, and liberations. So you work towards it. If you get it, great. If you don't get it, great. But if you don't work towards it, you're never going to get it, are you? You have to make the effort. You have to go there. You have to walk that mile. Nobody can work it for you. But if you don't get it, don't get disappointed. I knew at the age of 12, I remember I had a vision. And I lived in a city like Hong Kong, okay? It's a city, big city. And I had a vision that I was going to live in a house in the country. And people would come to my house. And I would feed them and look after them. I had that vision. I wrote it down for my teacher. That's how I remember it. Because when you write it down, what happens? You remember it. That's why I say keep your diaries, right? I didn't keep that one. I was too young. When I got married, Mum threw all mine to the bin. It's so many. So she won't need this now. Thank God she did, because I don't need them. But I remember that. And then so many years later, I get this. I wasn't even looking for a house. I'd forgotten it. And I got it. And exactly what I visualized at 12 came to be. So dreams are there for a reason. It's almost like there's a destiny showing us. We get signs from our soul, and I've seen that. People get soul signs that this is what's going to happen. Now, how are you going to work towards it? What are you going to do? What's your effort? My effort was, when I brought this property, was, if you want me to have this property, it will be a place to serve. If it's not going to be a place of to serve, I want a small apartment so I can close the door and not worry, right? So it's very simple. Do you see? Keep it simple. So you know there's a vision. If the vision doesn't come to pass, you're okay with the other vision too. So long as you have a roof over your head, a plate of food, right? And a bed to sleep on, and somebody to love you. And you keep going back to that. So this is what I practiced in non-sealing. Myself and I would like you to kind of write your own, if you don't mind. If this is fresh in your head tonight, you really just have your notebook and ask yourself these. I'm going to ask you some questions now when you're in meditation. And then I really like you to write your own sayings. This is how the divine will come to you, and you will know the bigger truth, what the real truth is about non-stealing. Is that okay? So will you try at home? And this is how you rediscover, you connect with the universe, and how things come to you when you really focus. That's why we learn to meditate, to focus. It teaches you how to study. It teaches you how to live your life by focusing. Because really the reason why many people are not successful is because the mind's all over the place. All over the place. 1 minute's here, next one's here, next one's here, next one's here. But if you learn to focus on whatever job you are doing, you will be successful in it. You will be very successful. The practice of meditation constantly is what gives you the focus. It's what gives you the my focus was, after I learned about this science, is that's all I want to do with my life. I want peace, and I'm going for it, and nothing's going to stop me. And that was my focus. What is your focus? What is it? And all the trims that come with doing what you need to do happen for you. They happen for you. It's almost like, if that's what you want to do, I'm going to give it to you. It's so funny. You didn't even worry about it. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not meant to be, it's not mine. It's somebody else's. Let somebody else enjoy it. So that's on non-stealing, because there's so much to say about each of these that really, if you do it in a very quickly, like I sometimes do, let's talk about the Yama and Niyamas, you really don't get the truth of that power that one sutra has. It has power. And when you focus on it, and focus, let's say I'm going to practice non-stealing for 1 week, and you focus on it, what will happen? You won't even lie. You won't even cause harm, not violence to anyone. Why? Because non-stealing implicates all the others. You practice one sutra, all the rest follow. Like boom, 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 boom. Like dominoes. You just have to practice one, and everything works in your life. So close your eyes. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them back and bring them down. Move your head from side to side. Feel the tension being released from your neck. Place your hands on your knees with the palms facing upwards. Relax your ankles and your feet. And just take a slow, deep breath. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Hold your breath. Breathe out slowly. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Hold your breath. Breathe in again, this time at your own pace, feeling the cool, clean air entering every single cell in your body. See the cells filling up with energy, peace, vibrancy, strength, courage, laughter, good health. And now just relax. Questions. Do you steal others' time by talking too much instead of listening? Do you steal others' ideas and take the credit for yourself? Do you steal your own time by being too lazy? Do you steal others' energies by repeating the same thing over and over again, negatively or positively? Do you allow others to steal your time, your energy, and the love you have in you? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.